indi leen xéewal bu neex a neex fii ba weeri octobre di jeex waaw fii ba weeri octobre di jeex mën nga am sansu win benn saaku maalo saa yoo jotee xaalis fii ci biir réewi Gambia bàyyee ko foofu sa UK Europe US Canada ak Switzerland ak Supersonix Money Transfer xanaa lii neexati na doore ko tey ba weeri octobre di jeex mën nga win benn saaku maalo saa yoo jotee xaalis fii ci biir réewi Gambia bàyyee ko UK Europe US Canada ak Switzerland téeméeri saaku maalo ñoo fi nekk kon gaawal nga bokk ci téeméeri nit yi nga xam ne mën nga am sans win ci xéewal yi nga xam ne kenn dootu ko natable ak Supersonix Money Transfer bànneexu leen ci suñ yónneekaay xaalis bi gën a wóor gën a gaaw gën a noppale ak yónneekaay xaalis bi gën a màgg ci biir réewi Gambia te duñ la fayeeku dara saytu leen ñu ci Google Play Store wala Apple Store nga mën a bindoo ci suñ app bi di Supersonix Money Transfer app shuu cay bii xéewal ak Supersonix rek
ci turam ak santam di leen asalaamaaleykum Gambie salaamaaleykum nuyu leen ku nekk ci turam ak santam di leen jaajëfal bu baax a baax a baax 2021 congress leen waa Pdois muy di People's Democratic Organisation for Independence and Socialism ñu bari ragal parti bi lool parce que ñeneen yi ñu ne jàng ci ñoo fi nekk maanaam ñoo xam ne seen xam-xam dafa màcca ci li ñuy def am na amut tey congress bi dina ko wane ci lu jot a dégg ñu ne congress yi tey bi moo tax ñu bari mun a am li nga xam ne moo nekk xam seen daba fii si biir dëkk bi su ko defee rek dañoo def nii rek indi leen ki nga xam ne mooy honorable Sidia Jatta ki nga xam ne doo yàgg nañ koo taxawal ko mu nekk seen parti leader si lu bari honorable salaamaaleykum.
Welcome, salam.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What can you tell us about Pdois?
Well, Pdois is a political party which came into being since 1986 with the fundamental objective of helping to eradicate ignorance and poverty in this country. Well, we saw at the time that there were many parties, but in our view, none of those parties had policies to do exactly that. And that's why the party was founded. And since then, we have been struggling. First, for people to understand exactly why they vote. Because essentially, if a political party is to become apt to serve the purpose for which it exists, then the people who are members of the political party must understand its fundamental principles and objectives. And then that party must engage in sensitizing people to understand the essence of what it is that one votes. This provision existed in the Constitution. It was Section 60 of our Constitution, which made it mandatory for political parties to make their policies and their programs known to the people, but that it has been lifted from the Constitution now is in the Elections Act. So this is one of the fundamental objectives of the party. That's why it came into being.
Who are the founding fathers of this party?
Well, the founding fathers are many, but key among them were Halifa Saleh, Sam Sall, Sidia Jatta, and some others.
That's quite interesting. A lot of people believe that Pdois is one of the greatest party in the country, but yet still the party have never won election. What do you think is the reason?
I always contend that we always win elections. You see, winning elections is not just being voted for, but winning election for me is fundamentally, you put your manifesto before the people and they agree that this is the manifesto that will serve their purpose. If they don't vote for that manifesto, whose problem is it? Their problem or my problem? I would have been unhappy if they say your manifesto is inadequate, we don't want it. But it is agreed that what you present is what is good for this country, and yet people don't vote for it. You know, that's the people. That's why sensitization is fundamentally important.
Honorable Sidia Jatta, we want to know your take on the constitution. A lot of people believe that you were part of, or the PDOI's team was part of the people that fought for the 1997 constitution. Was that true?
The 1997 Constitution? Yes, we worked hard for it to come into being. And I don't think it would have come into being if we had not worked the way we did in 1996. Yeah, because essentially it is a constitution which is still here, and essentially it is superior to the constitution that it repealed. That is 1997 constitution, because it contained provisions that were not in the 1990s, 1970 constitution. And that's why and then of course, there was a need for us to do away with a military regime. And to do that, you have to have a constitution to usher in a second republic. And that's why we struggled hard, having gone through it and having been convinced that essentially it is good. And in fact, we did much more than that. We translated it into Wolof and Mandinka long before the referendum, for people to understand essentially what they were going to vote for at the referendum. Yeah.
So why is it that this current constitution, so many leaders in Gambia have been to Nigeria to talk to President Goodluck Jonathan, but we didn't see the PDOI's
Draft constitution.
draft constitution?
I don't know why they are going to Nigeria to talk about it. I don't know why they have even come to here to talk about it. As far as I'm concerned, the draft constitution was rejected in the National Assembly, and that's it. Talking about it in Nigeria, talking about it in the Gambia is not what is going to bring it back into the National Assembly. Yeah.
So were you invited to go there?
Um. Yes, we were, but then how would you invite me to go and talk about something like that in the way it was done? I don't. My belief is that it's not by talking about it in the way they are talking about it that is going to bring it back. You know, when the draft was rejected, attempts were made during that session to bring it back, and that was what our standing orders permit us to do. National Assembly can rescind a decision that they have made. It was decided that it should be rejected. But the National Assembly can also rescind that decision to bring it back. We made attempts to bring it back in that way, made a motion for us to rescind our decision in order for it to come back, because it was rejected at a place where it was wrong to reject it. It was not that was not the stage where it should be rejected. Third stage is where it would be rejected, and first review was just talking about it, and then second review, then the third stage is where all the problems should have been talked about, whether it was going to be rejected or not to be rejected, or there were going to be amendments or no amendments. That's where everything should have taken place. But it was rejected when it was not that stage where it should be rejected. That was the big misunderstanding. But now, well, let's see what they can do by talking about it in Nigeria and the Gambia, and see whether that will bring it back into the National Assembly. Good.
What advice do you have for the people that are still talking about the constitution?
I don't have any advice for them. They know what they are doing. It's up to them to decide to do what they are doing, but I have no advice for them. Because some of them are legal people. They are legally minded people. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are people who have been in politics for former president of Nigeria. Is he not the one who is leading these talks in the Gambia and in Nigeria? He knows the procedures in a parliament. Yeah.
So many people believe that, in other countries are having so much hand in the Gambia. Do you think that is right?
I don't understand what they mean by so many people having hands in
Like when you look at it, President Macky Sall have so much power when it comes to Gambia. They're
I've not seen any power that he has in the Gambia. As far as I'm concerned, Gambia is a sovereign country, and we are here to defend that sovereignty. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. Now, coming back to the PDOIS, we have seen DOI being one of the oldest political parties in the Gambia, but yet still, this year your Congress is different from all other Congress that you had. Can you just take us through PDOIS Congress? How many Congress have you had since you started?
Well, we have had, I can't remember, but we have had, in the interim, there were no congresses when the coup d'etat occurred. And before the transition, there were no congresses. So after the founding Congress, which took place in 1986, we had another Congress in 1998. I can't say exactly how many congresses we have had because there were interludes here and there. So, but it is normal, according to our constitution, every 2 years we should have a Congress.
So, what is the difference this time around? A lot of people are saying this Congress is a success. I'm seeing what happened yesterday in Banjul. A lot of people, the turnover was huge. A lot of people came.
But it's an indication of the work of the party and the development of the party. It means that the party is growing, and it means that the party is growing wings, it's growing branches, and the branches are working. The party is everywhere in the country, and everybody is working for the party to have the possibility to manage the affairs of this country. And that is a good indication. But to be different is that's the essence of our party, You don't copy, we don't ape people, we always initiate and create. That is the essence of being a political party. Political parties are instruments of leadership, and our leadership that we are advocating is a leadership that is different. That's people's leadership, people in control. That's what the party stands for.
Yes, but then there's something so unique. Sabari, Tegayi, Mutoyi, Gelegeleyi, Vani, Mutobo Halat was there. So what is the difference? Because a lot of people say PDOIS guided night, Dunde Guinea Halis here and there.
These are funny talks. Party does not go about giving people money. Party needs money to do the work that is to serve the people. That money that you are supposed to give is the money that you need to serve the interests of the people. That's the money. The Congress is expensive, isn't it? All the vehicles you see, they were hired. That's money. All the people that have come, the way they come, what they eat, where they are lodged, is money. The party has to struggle to get that money to do that. We don't go to people to beg. The party struggles to have money in order to be able to serve the fundamental needs and aspirations of this country without owing anybody an obligation. You are talking about foreign interference in the Gambia. You are just saying that. Any party that is dependent on people for it to work is a party that will do such exactly what you are saying. And we are not that type of party. We sweat, we toil and moil and create what we need to do what we want to do to serve the fundamental needs of this country. So we can't go about giving money. In fact, people should give us money to become apt in serving their interest. Those who are interested in this party, those who have means that they can spare are the people who should give money. Do you know how much money, do you think Obama is the one who put money into his elections? No. In ordinary people, from $1, $2, $3, $10, $1 million, those who can have as many as that, were the people who put money together to make it possible for Obama to contest elections in America. Obama did not go about giving money. People, he had money, but the money that he had was meant to be used. for the purpose for which he was doing in the United States. So people must understand that parties are not out to give people money. I am serving you. You have a job that I am looking for. I want to be your employee. Those employees need to corrupt an employer to employ him. What type of employee are going to be? If you corrupt me to employ you, what type of employee are you going to be under me? You have already corrupted by giving me a bribe. Tell me. That's it. That's the difference.
That's the difference, and that is
Your interview is going to be short.
yes, short, but here we are having the right honorable. Yes, that's quite interesting. We will do that. So honorable. Okay, last question. No problem. What I think I'm a bit confused because the last question. All right. Right now we are in Gambia, and today is your Congress. What is next for the PDOS? Do you believe that your party will be the next presidential candidate, the next president?
That I can't tell people that we are going to be the next president. Are we going to vote for ourselves? We know that we are going to put before the people a program that is adequate, a program that they would like, a program that will serve the fundamental needs of the people of this country. It is up to them to choose to vote for that program or vote for another program. I cannot tell you that.
Will that discourage you? Sorry, I'm not saying you would lose the election, but if PDOS,
I told you that we have never lost any election. Put that in your head, that we have never lost an election. Once we put our case, our program before the people, and they say it is good, and that is what should serve the interest of the people of this country, we have won the elections already. That's what we want. We want to put something before the people of this country that they think will serve their fundamental needs and aspirations. And if they agree that this is what they want, we have won the elections.
but
Winning elections is not just becoming a minister or becoming a president. For me, there are many ways to become a president. There are many ways to become an MP. But to become a president and MP through people accepting the program you put before them and agreeing that this is what is going to serve their needs and aspirations, there is no winning more than that. That's the election. For us, we have won the elections. Yes.
final message.
Losers. Who are the losers in that context? You say what you are giving me is better than everything else, and yet you turn your back to it. Who is a loser? I ask you.
No, I am the journalist here. Unless you have your media pass and you invite me, I would answer any question for you.
No, but
I'm not going to answer any question.
well, if you don't, but I'm asking you the question because you are asking me a question that whose answer you already know.
Maybe to the people that are watching and they don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, this is not the first time I've said that. I've always said that we have never lost elections in this country because no one has ever rejected our program. When you talk to them, they say, we agree, this is the best program. Everybody said this is what we need. But if you don't...
At the State House, we're talking about the State House.
I'm not interested in the State House. I'm interested in people agreeing with what I think I can do for them. I'm interested in people accepting what they think can serve their interests. If they think that I have that, and what I'm giving them is exactly what they want, if they turn their back to that, whose problem is it now? Tell me. Huh? It is not my problem, it's there who are losing.
Your final message to the Gambians, especially those that are in the diaspora, a lot of them.
I'll give my message when before the end of the Congress.
All right. No problem.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Don't call me sir.
I call you.
I'm not a united person.
So what should I call you?
Call me Sidia.
Sidia.
Yeah.
But you're a National Assembly member, Honorable.
It doesn't mean anything. Who says that I should be called honorable? Who?
Some people feel offended if you don't call them honorable.
Well, that's some. You say some people, but I'm asking a question. Who says that I should be called honorable?
So you don't want to be called honorable?
No. You were not here in 1997 when I said that declaration in the National Assembly for the first time. I said that. I don't want to be called honorable. I cannot be more honorable than the person I'm serving. Can I? How can that be on earth? I'm more honorable than the person who is paying me to serve him or her. How can that be? People arrogate to themselves privileges and honors when they are supposed to serve people. How can you serve somebody you look down upon?
Yeah.
Because if I'm honorable, it means you are down below me.
Check 1, 2.
So I can't be your servant. I'm a servant. I'm an entrustee. So I'm not honorable. You are honorable people. People who sit down and evaluate all those who want to serve them. And eventually they choose one of them or some of them. Those are the people who are honorable because they have the power to do and undo. They have the power to create the wealth of the nation in order for that nation to survive. So they are the people who are honorable. We are servants of the people.
I fully remember back in 2014. Back in 2014, we visited you at your compound in Bundung, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, fi kiram nakala line house tadika and all that." And we had
My compound I was renting. Is it a crime?
now we learn that danga am security.
Is it a crime to rent?
Sidia, you would.
This is the problem with you people. How do you elevate your people, your workers, to a point that they become gods and goddesses above your head, and you expect them to serve you? Can you? Can a god and a goddess serve you? You elevate your employees to the rank of gods and goddesses, and yet you want them to serve your interest. Is that possible?
You had a new
renting like everybody. I didn't have a house. I was renting.
When did you now have a house?
Well, I don't know. Some years ago. Yeah. Of course, somebody helped me. My nephew built it for me. My nephew built it for me. Yes.
Some people believe that you had the money, but you just wanted to be humble. That's why you just rent.
When I became an MP in 1997, where were you? I declared in the National Assembly that my salary would be divided into three. Two would be in Wuli as a fund, and 1/3 I'll use to buy fuel whenever I want to go there. I'm not here to look for money. I'm not an MP looking for money. I'm MP to serve people. So I return part of what they are giving me to them because I have other means to survive. I have a profession. And when I was an MP, I was exercising it. And I still exercise it when I have time. I'm a linguist. I deal with languages, any language, human language. And people give me contact to deal with linguistic problems, linguistic matter like translate. I translated the Constitution of the Gambia in 1997. I was commissioned by UNDP to translate it. That earned me money.
So how about this new constitution before paying other people? Why not pay people like you? Or if
new constitution, don't talk about
the draft constitution that they
there is no draft constitution. It is rejected by the National Assembly as
but when they were doing the work, they should have hired people like you.
no. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a constitutionalist, constitutional lawyer. They hired people whose job it is to do that.
But you said in the 1994 constitution you were part of the people.
No. I didn't say. I said the constitution was given to me after it was adopted as a constitution to translate it for the people who can read and write in their own languages to understand what it contains. That's Wolof, Mandinka, and Fula, and etc. I was not part of those who drafted the constitution. Of course, I had an input there because I had an interface with the commission, like this one.
So today's election, today's Congress, Halifa Sallah will be, the flag bearer. That's what people think.
We are not here to select a flag bearer. We are not here to select a flag bearer. We are here for a Congress to deal with matters relating to our political party, our policies, our constitution, and all the rest of it. We are not here to select a flag bearer.
So how about other executive? Are you not going to do that today?
Well, maybe. Yes.
To hear from you, it's not maybe. Maybe it's not the best answer that people.
The officers of the party, yes, that's different from selecting a flag bearer. And that has not come yet. There's a moment for that.
So what role are you playing at the Pdois?
Look, we have finished this interview. I'm a member of Pdois and I'm the chairperson of Pdois. Yes.
Supersonics Money Transfer ñoo dellu si waat indi leen xéewal bu neex a neex fii ba weeri octobre di jeex waaw fii ba weeri octobre di jeex mën nga am sansu win benn saaku maalo saa yoo jotee xaalis fii ci biir réewi Gambia bàyyee ko foofu sa UK Europe US Canada ak Switzerland ak Supersonics Money Transfer xanaa lii neexati na doore ko tey ba weeri octobre di jeex mën nga win benn saaku maalo saa yoo jotee xaalis fii ci biir réewi Gambia bàyyee ko UK Europe US Canada ak Switzerland téeméeri saaku maalo ñoo fi nekk kon gaawal nga bokk ci téeméeri nit yi nga xam ne mën nga am sans win ci xéewal yi nga xam ne kenn dootu ko natable ak Supersonics Money Transfer bànneexu leen ci suñ yónneekaay xaalis bi gën a wóor gën a gaaw gën a noppale ak yónneekaay xaalis bi gën a màgg ci biir réewi Gambia te duñ la fayeeku dara saytu leen ñu ci Google Play Store wala Apple Store nga mën a bindoo ci suñ app bi di Supersonics Money Transfer app cay bi xéewal ak Supersonics rek